Hello and welcome to Alumni Pride. My name is Zoe Heatwell. This show is designed to catch up with graduates from Susquehannock and learn about what they're doing today. Joining us today is Mr. Bauman, who was from the class of 1967. He is also a member of the Southern York County School Board, and he currently serves as the treasurer. Thank you so much for joining us today.
It's my pleasure, Zoe.
So we're going to start with a really broad question, but what do you remember most about your days here from Susquehannock?
Well, I think I remember most the friendships that my wife and I made while we were here. A lot of them have, since we live in the area, a lot of them have endured down through the years, and we socially see a lot of people we went to school with, and so we can share a lot of experiences with them, and the school is really a central part of that. I remember the school plays. The school plays were really fun. Junior play was Meet Me in St. Louis, and the senior play was called Stage Door. And I guess it was during the senior play that my wife and I kind of got really acquainted and took a liking to each other. Before that, we knew each other and kind of, all right, well. So those, I guess, are some of the big ones.
Mm-hmm. Besides the school plays, what other kind of activities did you do?
I was class president senior year. Quo Vadis, does that ring a bell? I mean, that Latin club is a short name for that. It sounds strange, but that was a neat club to belong to because they always went on a neat trip in the spring. And I can remember going on one out to Punxsutawney, PA, the home of Punxsutawney Phil. And my wife, you stayed in individual people's homes, and my wife stayed in a home of somebody where the people were seers, so she had to sit through a seance while she was there. She was pretty freaked out by that.
Wow.
Yeah.
While you went here, did you have one teacher who pretty much impacted you throughout your whole life?
Well, I looked at that question, and that's a tough one because I had so many good ones and so many that impacted me in different ways. But if I had to pick one, I'd probably say it was Mr. Ricard, who was he taught Chem 2, and then in the middle of senior year, the gentleman that was teaching calculus left to go into some kind of private practice, and Mr. Ricard took over calculus, and I think without the preparation he gave me, I probably wouldn't have made it through freshman chemistry or calc when I went off to Drexel. So I would say if I had to pick one, it would be Mr. Ricard.
And Drexel is where you went after high school?
That's correct.
What else did you do after high school besides college? And
well,
I guess pretty broad, vague.
Yeah. Drexel still is, and at that time was one of the few co-op schools around, so it was a 5-year program. Mm-hmm. So as I was going to school, it was 6 months of school and 6 months of work. So I started working at was then York Division of Borg-Warner Corporation, and ended up going there full time after school. At some point, we moved back into the area, moved to Glen Rock. I got active on the Glen Rock Recreation Board and then the Glen Rock Borough Council, and then reached a point where my parents were still living on the farm that they owned outside of Glen Rock, where I grew up. And they got to the point where that was just too much for them to take care of and too much for us to take care of two places. So Deb and I and the kids we moved back to the farm in 1988. And at some point I got involved with the York County Solid Waste Authority, and after that the school board. Other than work, those are the things.
And you're so involved in the community. What really made you come back to the area of Glen Rock? And
it was mainly to be close enough to our parents to be of help to them as they aged. I look at some of the people I work with, that have their parents are far away, and as they get older and get health problems, it's a real. It's bad enough when you're here, but if you're 1,000 miles away, I just can't imagine what it would be like trying to deal with those issues.
And also you married your high school sweetheart.
I did.
And currently, what do you do today as your career?
I'm the director of Navy engineering for, it's now part of Johnson Controls, but it's the old York Corporation, York Division of Borg-Warner, York International, depending who you talk to in the community and how they've been around here long enough. And I lead a team of about, I guess, 40 people that York has a very specialized product that we sell to the U.S. Navy that's essential to U.S. Navy ships and submarines for air conditioning and cooling. And the group that I lead, we oversee the design, the manufacturing of that.
And what really got you into wanting to pursue this career?
My father wanted me to be a patent attorney, and I think I'm glad I didn't take that path. But now I guess from an aptitude standpoint, engineering, math, science was, certainly I never would have made a career in athletics. You know.
Saying that, do you ever see yourself doing anything else?
I think about, I mean, I'm getting to the point where I'm seriously thinking about retirement, and I'm not sure. Certainly, if I had an opportunity to teach or to help in math and science, I probably would jump at that.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Along with being a Navy engineer, you also are on the school board. How long have you been doing that?
Just about 9 years.
Okay. Why was it important for you to join the school board?
I don't know if it's a blessing or a curse. Some people are blessed or cursed with the need to perform public service, and I'm one of those. I was coming to the end of a term on the County Solid Waste Authority, and it was a period of time in the school district where the board directors were constantly fighting publicly with each other, creating a pretty bad image for the district and not being particularly productive, I didn't think, or at least spending an awful lot of energy on things that weren't what they were supposed to be doing. And I just thought, well, you know, I've had some experience being a calming influence over my life, and I thought, well, maybe this is a good time for me to take this on. That was really the motivation.
What is your motivation or objective for being on the board?
I want to make sure we do the right things to make sure that both now and in the future the school district is well positioned to give kids a good education, to get them ready for the rest of their life.
Does it also make any difference at all that you're an alumni and on the school board?
It's certainly, from a pride standpoint, yeah, I think it does. Definitely.
Also, serving on the school board with other alumni, does that at all change your relationship with other members of the school board?
I don't think so. I think I've come to learn over the years that diversity is a very important thing. You wouldn't want all alumni members on the school board, just like you wouldn't want all engineers on the school board. And I think in terms of relationships with the board members, it's more a sense of common purpose and wanting to do the right thing. I don't think there's not an old boys club or an old alumni's club on the school board, you know, that is a voting block or tries to steer the board in a certain direction.
Okay. Also, since you have a little bit of insider information into the board, is there anything positive that you can tell us at all?
Oh, everything's positive.
Everything's okay. You also had children that attended the school here.
Did.
Why was it important that your children attend this school district?
It was important to us that we settle in this area, and it was also very important to us that our kids got a good education. So settle in this area, good education, pretty well narrowed the choice.
And finally, from when you went to high school here to seeing your children go to high school here, what were the big changes that you saw? Had it progressed any?
Definitely. There are a lot of changes. Obviously, the size of the school. I think the other thing would be the reputation that we hold in the county. You know, and back in 1967, we were pretty much a rural district. Academically, you know, we were looked down on. At least we certainly had the feeling that we were looked down on, and athletically the same way. And I think Randy Etzel touched on that the other year in his speech at graduation, and the fact that that's changed so dramatically. You know, in the York area, people look to this district as a leader, and that's a really big change.
Well, okay then. Thank you so much for joining us today. And also thank you to all who are watching right now, and to our Video 2 class who is currently behind the scenes helping us. And thank you to the viewers who are watching Alumni Pride. So for everyone here at Warrior TV, I'm Zoe Heatwell, and have a beautiful day.